A couple of different things I want to get to. Let's start with Brady there. Brady in Tampa, how good do you think that team is next year?
I think that team is great next year with Tom Brady. And what you guys just talked about, I think it explains why he's had such success, the way he's, actually gravitated and trying to be that helping hand to Antonio Brown. Tom Brady, no matter who he plays with, he gets the best out of them. We've talked about that for years. Now imagine going to Tampa, where that great talent is, and getting the best out of that talent. Greeny, swagoo. I'm telling you, that's going to be a beautiful sight for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans.
Swagoo, they already have Godwin and Evans. Should the Buccaneers try to figure out a way to get Antonio Brown there?
No, they shouldn't, G. And that doesn't mean Antonio Brown shouldn't be back in the league. I just believe that young talent that Mike just mentioned and Dan talked about earlier, along with Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard. Look, this is the thing we talked about, G. Remember when Gronk retired and I told you this was the biggest impact that the New England Patriots would face going forward? Tom Brady has 2 safety valves now. He has 2 tight ends that can block in the run game. Tampa's a great situation for him. I don't think they need to bring in another piece. Godwin is really good, and Mike Evans obviously being a big target that he can go downfield with. I don't think you need to add to that. I know not adding a crazy talent like Antonio Brown to say not to is like crazy to a lot of people out there, but to me, you don't mess this up. Tom Brady has the attention and ear of everybody in Tampa Bay right now. I think you need to leave it that way.
Wagoo, there's something that you are discounting here. Tom Brady is not just going to Tampa. He's also trying to show everybody that he left in Boston that he can win a championship without Bill Belichick. And that's going to require all the talent that you can muster up. And if Antonio Brown is anywhere available, even if not available early in the season, but you can get him on that team and you can put him in that slot, and then you can have Godwin and Mike Evans out wide. Man, listen, Tom Brady will have a great chance at doing something in Tampa with that kind of talent around him. Always remember now, it's not just about what he's trying to do in Tampa. It's also about what he's trying to beat that he left in Boston.
That's fair. I want to ask you, Michael, while we have you here, clearly about what's going on in Dallas now as they wind up franchise tagging Dak Prescott, who has done everything you could ask a person to do since he got there. What is your perspective on the way that situation has been handled, and what do you expect to happen?
Well, this is big business, Greeny. You guys know that. It's always happened like this. I tell people all the time, when you get these kind of businessmen, the CAA $1 billion they have and the billions of dollars that Jerry Jones have, usually these kind of deals don't get done until the slipper falls off Cinderella. It's at the last minute, but they usually get done. Now, Jerry put the franchise tag, and I know, and I tell people, I know that they've offered Dak, $33, $34 million a year. We don't have a clear number on what Dak is wanting, but I do believe that this thing will get done. It's not like a Kirk Cousins, because they want Dak Prescott here. Everybody believes in Dak Prescott, and he will be a Cowboy.
Swagoo, is the tone going to turn against Dak at some point? I feel like everyone supports him, and rightly so, to this point. But if Michael has said it, and we've heard others say it, that there is a huge offer on the table that he's not taking, will the tide turn against him at some point?
The tide may turn for people that look at this business as players are supposed to go ahead and succumb to the situations that they're in. But as a former player looking at guys, man, you maximize your potential on a contract. It doesn't have anything to do with relationship at this point. It's business. So if Dak Prescott and his agents feel like they can get, if the offer is 33 and 34 and they feel like they can get 35 or 36, you try to get 35 or 36 over the process of that entire contract. I know a lot of people, I've heard people say he should take less, and they gonna need money to put in other players' hands. Listen, this is something that I've watched when I played. I'm sure Mike watched when he played. Some guys do it, and kudos to them for taking less and doing things. We just coming off of Tom Brady taking less in New England. If I'm Dak Prescott, I perform well, and if I can get 35 or 36, I ain't taking 33 or 34. I'm getting 35 or 36.
How about the idea of taking less?
If we knew, no, and I'm with Wagoo on that. That's everybody's personal preference. If you want to say, hey, I want to take less and stay at this place or move to that place. That's your personal preference. You're doing the business. I will allow you to do that business. But Swaggle, if we knew that that's what Dak was asking for, because they haven't made that too public, that Dak's out, if it's 35, 36, then we can get on Jerry and say, come on, Jerry, close that gap. 36 and 34, you meet in the middle at 35 or something, close the gap. But the fact that we haven't really had a solid number on Dak leaves us only with the numbers that the Cowboys are throwing out. And I think somehow, some way, sometimes that work against the player.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.